too ridiculous, but anyway. Basically, you have to admit, okay, basically I was giving advice on, oh my god, it's so wonky. Why is it wonky? Alright. Okay, so basically I was giving advice on, is it recording? It is. Okay, I was giving advice on how, okay, so basically, yeah, it's like a, okay, so basically, when it comes to, like, making the right choice or being conscious, you know, the whole, like, oh, I want to live more consciously. Yes, you can, by the way, pressure yourself into constantly being conscious, but what if I were to tell you there's a better way? You're better off admitting that there are times where you're not always conscious, right? So, for instance, you're going to be doing things out of habit. You might even be, like, kind of just sitting around, not doing much. Basically, did you know that you only have to be conscious the few times where you're conscious? You just have to be conscious the times where you realize. This is where you get someone who writes a to-do list just before they go to sleep. Because just before you go to sleep, you might be more conscious all of a sudden. I say that's the exact same right time that you're supposed to do something that benefits you in your future, right? The rest of the day, you don't need to be pressuring yourself to constantly be doing things that benefit you in your future. You don't need to do it constantly. It's just when you have that realization that you need to make a different choice. And of course, you can, by the way, pressure yourself on certain things. You can start being like, you know, for me, dressing up first thing in the morning, that's when I ignore a lot of things. I'll put on pajamas or something. Always messes up the rest of my day. But if I dress up, it doesn't mess me up for the rest of the day. So for me, that's something I can pressure myself with being conscious of. But guess what? Even that. Do what you can do. Let's say just before bed you become conscious about the way you're living. You can put out the outfit, like, folded in a corner, you know, folded on the end of your bed. So meaning when you wake up first thing in the morning, yeah, you're not going to be conscious, but you will see the folded clothing sitting for you right at the end of the bed, and you're going to remember, oh yeah, just before I went to sleep, I decided I was going to dress differently so that I can be more conscious. You can kind of, like, set your room up to, like, lead you to doing the right thing. You don't actually have to constantly be thinking, constantly be telling yourself to do the right thing, constantly telling yourself to be conscious. You don't need to do that. You just need to do it when you're conscious. You kind of leave things out for yourself. I'm not feeling the mascara today at all. This ain't a mascara day. It's not a mascara day. Anyway, but basically, maybe a little bit. Anyway, basically, do you get what I mean? So you can kind of just, as a practice, when you realize, that's when you do something. Alright, this is a very messy video, Anyway, I wish I could put myself back in the wavelength of the things I was just thinking about. I always start forgetting as soon as I'm filming. How strange. I look so much better at nighttime because of the lighting. Anyway. Anyway. I'm still addicted to doing that. Anyway. Like that for now. Anyway, I look like this now. I wasn't supposed to be putting on this much makeup. I wasn't feeling the vibes, but now I am. I guess. Anyway, Anyway, I guess, anyway. Oh my god, I had such a point to make, and then now the video is on, I'm too scared to talk. Hella weird. Anyway, oh yeah, a random thing. Okay, I was talking about dissociation. Alright, okay. So basically, with dissociation, there'll be times where you're kind of dissociated, you're not really conscious, you know. And it might even be because of your phone, you know. I'm not going to give you obvious advice, but, like, it might be because of that, you know. But basically, you start to realize... How do I describe this? Because, yeah, basically everything works in harmony, right? So, the dissociation is probably caused by something else you're not doing. So basically, you just have to have one thing that you're doing. It leads to you figuring out the other things. So for instance, even if you're just cleaning your room, let's say you even feel like you're procrastinating by cleaning your room, what if I were to tell you that you cleaning your room will lead to you where you're going? It's all in the side quests. It leads you to become more conscious, which eventually leads to you doing the right thing. You kind of just have to respect yourself in the side quests. I guess maybe it depends, by the way, on what wavelength you're on, but if you're someone who's, like, on the I'm gonna work for myself and do things for myself, you do start to kind of realize you're the one who's gonna control your own life. Some people feel like their whole life was wasted on pretending to be neurotypical. How strange. I'm going straight to dark stuff. I don't know why I'm talking about fucked up things. Oh, actually, I do know why. And you lied. Anyway, yeah, but anyway, basically there's a dissociation that happens when you don't do the right thing. Okay. This is so silly, but, like, I will know what to say, and then I won't say it, and then eventually I will know the result of me not saying something. But you see how this doesn't make sense? This is not conscious. It might feel conscious for a second. I'll be like, oh, look, now I understand. Well, something being important, but it's like, I already knew what to say. I already knew that it was important. I didn't say it, and then now I know what happens when I don't say it. But that's not a knowing. That's just this is where you get into things that can kind of be pseudo-spirituality. It starts becoming, yeah, I know things, but the reason why I know things is because I'm doing the wrong thing and then learning from it. Or, like, analyzing it afterwards. It's like, but if you just do the right thing, you already know what you need to do. You already know. It's only if you... Some people do have to go through life lessons, but if you already know what you're supposed to be saying and doing, there's no life lesson. You can end up with this pseudo of, like, oh, I know because look what happened when I didn't say the right thing, and then look how terrible things became. I now know the result of that, and obviously you can do something with this. I use it as, like, psychology. I talk about, like, bad things that can happen because of people doing the wrong things, but I'm not kidding when I say, but it's limited by the fact that I'm, not saying the right thing, ignoring things because I'm dissociated. It's like, I will know the exact thing to say, and then I kind of just dissociate. And then eventually I analyze me not doing the right thing because I feel bad about it, but then now everything's just an analyzation of something I've done afterwards. It doesn't make sense. That's like a manipulation. That's not actual spirituality. That's just me analyzing something afterwards, especially because I already knew. I already knew what to say. I had the spirituality. Like, sometimes you have to admit that your spirituality sometimes, upgrades. I used to have the spirituality of analyzing things afterwards because of everyone around me saying the wrong things, doing the wrong things. I could be the one who analyzed it, like a little mediator. And it turned into, like, empathy, you know, scapegoat, you know, all that stuff. But now my spirituality is upgraded. It has turned into, now I just know what to say. And to be honest, if you want to get real technical, I probably always did. It's just that I was held back, but we're not going to get into that. It was about the fact that I heard wrongings and I was the right to the wrongings. Now I'm just the one who's right. I don't actually need to learn things. That's a comfort zone at this point. Like, oh, at least I learned something. That's a comfort zone. There was a time where I had to learn things, but now it's just, I can just kind of just do what I'm supposed to. I already know what I'm supposed to be doing. I already know what I should be saying. I already know that I feel uncomfortable when I don't dress up. I don't need to learn that by dressing up badly and then being like, well, at least at least now I know. Like, no, I already do know, so now I can just do what makes me comfortable. I don't need to analyze anything anymore. I just know things now. There was a time where I had to analyze. I don't need to analyze anymore. And if I do need to analyze, that's like interesting if I happen to actually need to. But to be honest, I don't need to. I don't need to. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that I live like this. I guess I've just ended up this like this because I got manipulated. Literally in my life, I got manipulated and I got kind of like pushed back into a younger self. But that's not who I am anymore. I just know things. I guess maybe people preferred my old spirituality where I would analyze something. They didn't like it when I started to just fucking know. They didn't like that. And I was like, isn't that a good thing that I've upgraded? I guess maybe they're jealous or something. It's like, how ridiculous. Do you know how much funnier the jokes are when it starts being like, you kind of discover what the joke is. When you analyze, it's kind of, things are more serious. There's less jokes. There's a discussion. When you just know things, it starts being, you're just wrong and I'm right. And then the jokes are funny. But they don't like that. That the spirituality is within social teas. It starts being, I'm not the analyzer anymore. That was my old placement in social teas. And I can still enter that if there needs to be a discussion. But I don't need to constantly be there. That was a karmic path of me analyzing people, and being essentially their therapist for them. I'm not a therapist anymore. I can just tell you that you're doing the wrong thing. I'm not here to fucking make you feel better. But the irony is that it leads to you feeling better because I'm telling you what you should be doing. So, but they don't trust that process. They preferred it when I did the process for them. I don't do the process for you. I just tell you what you're supposed to do. It leads to where you need to go. You don't actually need to hear me make it feel all nice for you. Oh, look at that. I'm over there now. What do you know? Anyway. As you can tell, this is a bit of a reading on myself, but I'm trying to turn it into advice. The advice is, just admit when the social dynamic changes. And it starts to work in your benefit more, or it's always worked in your benefit, but anyway. Oh no, it didn't. I was essentially being slightly used by being the family therapist accidentally. You end up being that, anyway. Anyway. I don't know why people don't like it when social teas change, because it's so interesting when social teas change. All of a sudden, someone who maybe you never spoke to is all of a sudden, it's a moment. I like it when that happens, and I like it when people start crashing out. It's funny. Well, I don't really like the crashing out, because those people are usually the ones that are doing badly. But I'm crashing out right now. Again, I like it when I crash out, because I just yell at the sky. Actually, I'm not going to talk about that. I don't know if I can talk about that. I'm losing my mind. I do not need to tell y'all about that. The irony is that things are working well for me. When I crash out, it's literally just me trying to get out of my dissociation. Because my dissociation, by the way, has actually lost its meaning. It doesn't make any sense anymore. I actually just don't do things. It's lost its point. I just will kind of just find myself not doing stuff. Or I find myself not putting on a camera. Or I find myself just not doing what I want to. It's like, oh my god, I've got makeup on my chin that whole fucking time. No. Anyway, but basically, if you got dissociation, you get to the point where you start realizing it makes no fucking sense. It starts being like, what do I do? Literally the other day, I felt called to have, antidepressants. God was like, come on, just fucking stop dissociating. It gets to the point where it starts being like, there's emotion, and then there's mental illness. okay, so I don't want to say that. I don't want to sum it up like that. Wait. It's either it starts becoming emotions with like meaning, to you're being manipulated into just things being bad. Like there's a difference between emotion versus things just being bad, and it just has no fucking meaning anymore. And this happens within manipulation. This is why sexism's so bad, because they actually do take the meaning out of emotions. And then all of a sudden it's real. Oh, there you go. Now it's real. Emotions have become pointless. Which obviously sexist people want it to be that emotions are pointless. It's like, they're not pointless, but if you treat people that badly, eventually it does become true. It does become, the emotions have become meaningless because you're just treating everyone so badly. That it starts being, it's just bad. There's no analyzation, it's just, it's bad. And then it starts becoming very simple. And that's when it gets really boring. And again, it's better when people are engaging with the fact that they disagree, not like people hating on each other. It starts being like, now it's too messy. It has actually lost its point. At least some people, like, I call it like the atheist or like the common wise, where some people, they have this understanding of like, even if people are disagreeing with each other and it's getting messy, people kind of let it be that way. They don't actually start trying to come down to conclusions and stuff. But I'm not kidding when I say there's still a manipulation within that. Like, sometimes people who go like, oh, you know, we all understand that we disagree. It starts being like, but now you're actually using that as an excuse to just say terrible things. It began as like people understanding that like you can kind of hate on people, like, you know, like siblings will pay each other out. That's like a good thing, by the way. If siblings get along, that kind of means that you're in a toxic household. Anyway, it's actually a good thing when siblings can pay each other out. It's like lighthearted. But then when it actually starts becoming, you're actually jealous, you're actually paying someone out, it starts being like, now it actually is terrible. Anyway, but things obviously just continue to keep being interesting, so that's great. But if there's a narcissist, they take the meaning out of everything. They take the meaning out of everything. And it starts becoming pointless. The wrong one. And sadly, that has happened to me within the dissociation. That's the door, the window, for me to get manipulated. It's within my dissociation. No other part of me is getting manipulated, so that's great. But I'm not kidding when I say I'm being manipulated into a dissociation. How strange. But anyway. I literally, like, hate my past self right now, but it's literally just like, it is what it is. I got manipulated again. Because it's so easy to get manipulated when people don't even let you, like, disagree. They don't even let you disagree. They start getting offended. And I'm like, what are you even offended at? Now nothing makes any sense because you're not letting me talk. And they just think I'm being like, oh my god, like, they just think I'm being annoyed. I'm like, no, like, you don't get it. Nothing is making sense because you're not letting me talk. They think I'm like, yeah, they don't get it. They just think I'm, fuck. It's too unstable. Hopefully that's better. Anyway. Is it still filming? Oh, I could have paused it when I moved it. And now I can't edit it. Oh well. Anyway, the shadow's in the way. This is quite the setup. It's not very... It isn't very... Anyway. Oh my god, I did end up on that wavelength. Oh my god, that's so funny. Again, this reading's for me, I'm sorry, but I hope it resonates. I guess maybe I'm talking about the internal experience of being dissociated, seeing things in your own perspective, what maybe seeing who you want to be, but then ending up dissociated and not getting around to it. Anyway, I'm talking about people who resonate with that. Lord have mercy. We're talking about that. Oh, I didn't get around to it. Like, what? Why not? And then obviously it's like, well, actually, and it's like, no, I wasn't actually asking. Just like, fucking get around to it. Gold ain't even interested in my bullshit anymore. You know, he is. He's always interested. Dude's got 7 million brains, you know. Anyway, I want this to be a black scarf. There we go. It is double-sided. Anyway, put it on this side today. I love how it's like a bit like that, but then it's not. Do you know how much I love this scarf? I love it. Anyway, I'm emotionally attached to each one of my pieces that I found at an op shop. I need to start making my clothes because I'm getting way too emotionally attached to the op shop. Anyway. That was a really weird comment that didn't even make any sense. Anyway, but I'm talking about, like, silhouettes that, like, don't fit me right, but I'll be, like, emotionally attached to the jacket. And it doesn't even fucking fit that right, and I'm like, I love it, it's my favorite, it's my one and only, and then I see it in a picture, and I'm like, ooh, it doesn't even fit me right. Anyway, just fucking upgrade things every once in a while. You can still keep your bullshit, but, like, just, like, add to it. You need more. And when you have, it's very easy to let go. You have to let go of what you currently have to have more. I say when I'm like selling things on Depop, you must let go to gain more. Anyway, I've sold all of my identity issues. Link in the description. Like Huey. The internet. People do that with their jackets. Anyway, I like filming. I like being able to fucking see the viewfinder. I need a camera that has a viewfinder, and I need a better tripod. I have a questionable tripod. It works. Anyway. I should have kept that other one. I don't know why I got rid of it. Anyway. Because it's just a tripod, but like, I could have kept it. I could have kept that tripod. I hate it when I get rid of the wrong thing. Anyway. It's so fucking funny. I can't be laughing. Anyway. 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 Might be in the now. Takes one go. That undoes the job. Tell me I'm trying to. My voice is very sore right now. Try to hold you off like bad habit. Whoa. Oh my god, crazy. Oh my god. Alright. I haven't been speaking in the past 20 seconds. 20 seconds anyway. Okay.